5 strange things in Manchester that on their own you can't make a full video out of them, but together we can go and take a look at 5 Mancunian curiosities. Let's go. Now if you're driving up Rochdale Road out of Manchester, look left, a house, very much a derelict house, but very much almost perfectly intact. Complete mystery as to who perhaps lived there, and I get the impression that inside is a perfect time capsule. As you can see, there is a way to get closer to the house, but it's like going through the jungle. A fascinating place, and there's a plaque on the wall, and I thought it might say like who lived here, but unfortunately it just says that it's part of the 3 first municipal parks to open in Manchester. Do you know who lived here? Let's keep our eye on it, let's hope it doesn't get pulled down, and if you do know who lived here, leave a comment down below because it's a fascinating little place. Ancoats, Manchester, and there's the strangest thing here. It's a stone circular wall, well, it's a brick circular wall, but it's the remains of a Swedenborgian church. Now the man that founded this offshoot of Christianity was somebody called Emanuel Swedenborg, and it was founded sometime in the 1700s. He was a theologian and a scientist, and he claimed to have had revelations from Jesus Christ. He had to found a new church based on these revelations. So a follower of this new sect of Christianity, Swedenborgianism, was James Schofield, and he was a radical doctor here in Ancoats, and he decided to build a church here in 1821, and it was a round design. It's very difficult to get pictures of it, but I'll try and get a picture of it and show it to you. Now this stone here that they placed just at the side of the wall was apparently above the doorway. It's difficult to say what it says because it's so weathered. It says something like Christ, Church, and I can't make out the rest of it. But this, and it's really hollow when you tap it, was just above the entrance to the church. And all around are these gravestones, as you can see, just randomly placed around the building, around the wall, at sort of regular intervals. just lost in the ground. Anyway, unfortunately it fell into disrepair, and sometime in the 70s, can you believe, it was demolished. But they left this brick circle to remind us of where it stood. It's almost an insult that they left this circle, because it's kind of like, thanks for leaving the circle, could you not have just left us the church? But if you ever find yourself in Ancoats on every street, this strange little monument to this strange little offshoot of Christianity stands here all alone with trees growing in it rather curiously, and you wouldn't know what it was at all. Another curiosity. Now, the River Urwell has a history of caves along its banks, and if you find yourself near Parsonage Gardens, you're not very far away from the modern Manchester cave. But to see that cave, we have to go down to the banks of the Urwell. So I'm down by the banks of the River Urwell, right in the city centre, and one of our mysteries is the Manchester Cave. Is it a cave? Probably not really, although it's referred to as the Manchester Cave by the Urbex urban exploring community. It's more of a void between the buildings, but it's below street level, and it's a gap between the buildings that goes in quite far, quite deep. How deep it goes in, I don't know. Oh, it's really difficult to get to, otherwise I'd be in there showing you. And I could probably try and go in there, but it's very hard, and I'm just not prepared to take the risk. But the Manchester Cave, why did they leave that void in between the buildings? What's in there, and where exactly does it go? So basically it requires you to shimmy along here, along this steep bank along the Urwell, that then gets even steeper there, and then over there, just below that building there, is the cave. Now you can see, even though it's sort of high up above the water level, it's actually below street level. And I think when you get in there, it goes downwards, so it's going further below the street level. So it looks nothing to look at when you're walking past on this side of the Urwell. But if you could get up there and look in, there is a void, a deep void that goes downwards and in between the buildings. And it'd be quite fascinating to go inside sometime. Maybe that's another video. So we're here on Werneth Low, just an innocent red phone box. They're all sort of disappearing nowadays, aren't they? But this phone box has got something very, very strange about it. Now, I'll just zoom in so you can see. That word. What does that word mean, and why is it only on one side of the phone box? Because on the other sides of it, it says telephone, as you would expect it to do. Now, either someone local is having a really good laugh and is probably stood in these houses now looking at me filming here and thinking, haha, I got him, or there's something deeply mysterious about this box. Now, by all means, Google that word. You've seen it, Google it, and you will get hits. You'll get hits on it, but the only hits you'll get, because believe me, I've already done it, are people asking the same question. What does this mean? Now, it's not a foreign language, it's not Welsh, it's not Scottish, it's not Irish. It even looks a little bit Danish or Nordic or something like that. It's not a language, it's not a recognised language. So if you can tell me what that's about, that mysterious word, and good on you, and good luck to you, because there's something very strange going on here at this little village phone box on Werneth Low, and no one so far has got to the bottom of it. So don't comment that it's a foreign language. I need to know the answer. So we'll just go inside and just make sure it's a normal telephone box. I don't want you to think that it's some sort of special feature or some sort of film set. It's an actual working telephone box. So let's just go in. Joel Lane, Hyde, Cheshire. It's got a number. Pick up the receiver. I don't know if you could hear that or not. The only strange thing I've just noticed is this. Oh, right, that is strange, isn't it? Some sort of stone with what looks like, I don't know if you can see that. Is that a map? That's bizarre. That is bizarre. That is quite bizarre. This telephone box is very strange. I'll just show it you again, make sure we got it correctly. Can you see what I can see? X marks the spot. I'm putting that back and leaving it for the intended persons it was meant for, but honestly that wasn't planned. That was really strange, that. This is the strangest telephone box in the country. Anyway, whatever. So comments down below, answers on a postcard, comment down below if you can tell me what that box is about. The weather's atrocious and you won't believe where I am now. So this is Mancunian Curiosities, but we're sort of on the border really now of Manchester now. I'm on a hill somewhere, I don't know, the arse end of Stockport, not quite sure. I think it's Disley, and I think down here is Lyme Park. I'm going to have to wipe the lens now. The weather's atrocious and ironically I think it's forecast really nice tomorrow, but look at that. Quite beautiful though. So just up here is something I want to show you. I've got to go over a little stile here now just to get to these stones. These are the bow stones. I picked the worst possible day. And these things are ancient. These things are about, they date from the 9th century, so that's 800 and odd. The year 800 and odd, isn't it? Just have to wipe the lens again for you. This is why I don't vlog in the rain. There they are. Now these things are ancient, like I say, about 1,000 years old, and look at this, markings on them. Difficult to tell what the markings are, and I'm hoping the picture isn't ruined by water on the lens. But the rumour has it that there's possibly part of a cross, whether some sort of wood went in the top here, and in the top here you can see, and it made some sort of ancient cross, but I can't make out how it would have been. But rumour has it that apparently Robin Hood used these to, I don't know if it was to fire his arrows through or to stretch his bow on or something like that, but rumour has it that Robin Hood used these stones. Now they weren't necessarily in this particular position, you know, I think they've been moved from another site, but not very far. But like I say, nobody's quite sure what they were for. Maybe a cross, maybe somewhere that some people did business, you know, exchange goods and animals and things. But there's quite a few of these around the Manchester area, and what normally you find is just the base stone. Normally what is found is the base stone with the holes in where the original uprights were. There's one in Stretford and it's called the Plague Stone, and it's just a stone without the the holes in it. The wind is taking my breath away. But to find it like that is quite rare and unusual. I'll just show you what the sign says. So there you go, those are the bow stones. Ancient stones that nobody quite knows what they're for or what they're about. And this is the most trying landscape I've ever been in. Ah! Tomorrow it's going to be gorgeous apparently. So there's the little stile you've got to go over. Over the little stile, over to the stones, and you can see we're in the middle of nowhere here, and apparently... So that's it. That's the end of the video. But if you've watched this far, thank you very much for sticking with it. And just for doing that, here's a little extra bonus mystery. So here's a bit of an additional mystery that I didn't plan to find. A little sort of like entrance to a tunnel down there just off the Irwell. Anyone know what it is? Just off Bridge Street in Salford, sort of Manchester border.